Welcome back to California and Beyond, the podcast where we explore the politics, society, and environment of California and how it affects the rest of the United States. Today is episode 2, California's path to 100% clean electricity by 2045. This is not just a technical goal, but a political, social, and equity story. To achieve it, the state will have to overcome a series of profound challenges and innovations. When did California start, and what was its policy foundation?
In retrospect, California has long been a leader in environmental policy. In the 1960s and 1970s, Los Angeles was notorious for its smog. The state began enforcing stricter regulations than the federal government. In 1974, the California Energy Commission (CEC) was created, becoming the key agency in energy planning.
So that means there was a foundation from early on?
True. In the 1980s, the state enacted energy efficiency standards for appliances, which led to California's per capita electricity consumption being well below the U.S. average. In 2006, OB30 required the state to reduce emissions to 1990 levels by 2020. It was the first time a U.S. state had comprehensive climate legislation.
And in 2018, SB 100 appeared.
Exactly, SB 100 is a watershed moment, setting a target of 60% renewable electricity by 2030 and 100% carbon-free electricity by 2045. Importantly, it provides certainty to the market. It forces utilities to plan long-term to meet the targets.
Let's talk more about the current electrical system.
California has a complex electricity system. Total installed capacity is more than 80 gigawatts, of which solar, nearly 35 gigawatts, including utility scale and rooftop; wind, more than 7 gigawatts; hydro, about 10 gigawatts but highly variable due to drought; geothermal, nearly 3 gigawatts, mostly in the Imperial Valley; natural gas, about 30 gigawatts, still the main backup source; nuclear, 2.2 gigawatts from the Diablo Canyon plant.
So the regeneration rate is among the highest in the U.S.?
True. On sunny days, solar power can meet all of its daytime needs. But at night, California must import electricity or burn natural gas. This is the challenge of balancing supply and demand. In addition, the state is connected to the grid of many western states. About 25% of the electricity consumed is imported. This is both an advantage and a risk because of the dependence on outside.
Let's take a closer look at the multi-layered challenges.
Can be divided into several levels. 1. Technically, renewable energy depends on the weather. To reach 100%, a storage system of at least tens of hours, even weeks, is needed. There is currently no commercial technology that is cheap and large enough. 2. The grid must modernize to manage distributed energy. Millions of rooftop solar panels, millions of grid-connected electric vehicles. This requires artificial intelligence, sensors, and a federal grid. 3. Economy, huge investment costs. The CEC report estimates that more than $400 billion will be needed by 2045. The question is, who will pay? The people or the government? 4. Politics, there are divisions. Some communities oppose offshore wind farms because of concerns about the impact on the landscape. Some have concerns about nuclear. Lawsuits could drag out the process. 5. Social, environmental equity issues. The poor often pay higher electricity bills than their incomes. Without supportive policies, the switch could backfire. 6. Climate, drought, and forest fires are increasingly severe, directly affecting hydropower and infrastructure.
Is there any technology that promises to solve these problems?
There are many technologies being tested, among them lithium-ion batteries, currently the main option. California has the largest storage system in the U.S., however, it only provides a few hours of power. Long-term storage batteries, such as iron-air batteries, sulfur batteries, Forum Energy has tested them. Green hydrogen can be produced when there is excess solar power, then burned or used in fuel cells. Pumped hydrogen use water pumped into reservoirs, then released to generate electricity. California has potential in the Sierra Nevada. Demand response management. People and businesses reduce electricity use during peak hours thanks to IoT technology. Electric vehicles as mobile batteries. When millions of electric vehicles connect to the grid, they can become a huge source of storage.
Sounds like a multi-tech picture.
Exactly. There is no silver bullet, a single solution. It requires a combination of technologies.
So how does politics affect the parties involved?
The implications are huge. California has a history of being open to climate policy, but not everyone agrees. Some rural areas oppose wind and solar projects because they take away farmland. Big utilities like PG&E have a history of wildfire scandals, bankruptcies, and distrust. The federal government also has an impact. When Republicans are in power, they tend to block climate policy. Conversely, when Democrats are in power, states receive a lot of financial support.
That is, the process depends a lot on the national political context.
Exactly. California has the right to set its own standards, but it cannot be separated from the United States.
So how important is energy equity?
Extremely important. If the focus is on technology alone and the social component is neglected, the transition can fail. California has implemented the Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing Program, which helps low-income homes install solar panels. In addition, subsidies help reduce the burden of bills.
Does this have to do with social trust?
Yes, people will only support it if they see direct benefits. If clean energy is only for the rich and the poor have to pay high prices, the policy will be opposed.
How influential is California globally?
Huge. The state's economy is on par with Britain or France. If California reaches 100% clean electricity, it will prove that a large economy can operate without fossil fuels. This will have a huge impact on developing countries that still rely on coal and oil. In addition, technology and policies from California can be exported. For example, smart grid management models or energy optimization software. This is an area where Silicon Valley has an advantage.
Today we've taken a detailed journey, from the history, current state, challenges, solutions, to the global implications of California's path to 100% clean energy. This is a huge topic, and there will certainly be more developments in the years to come. In Episode 3, we continue with Electric Vehicles, Policy, and Daily Life, Extended Edition. Thank you for listening to California and Beyond. See you again.